Hey there, and welcome to Storytime. So, yeah, Storytime again, yay! I didn't do one last week, so yeah, it's time to do one this week, and I decided to do another part of the subseries about neighbors from hell. Neighbors from hell. And yeah, my mouth is incredibly dry. I have no idea why. I'm drinking maybe 5 liters of water a day, but I can't, hydrate enough because it's so freaking hot. But yeah, that's a totally different topic, and I wanted to make this a short episode of Storytime, and I really hope I will make a short episode about it. The last time I said this is going to be a short episode of Storytime, I ended up being 12 minutes or something like that. This is bad time management, but whatever. So yeah, Storytime, neighbors from hell. So these were the neighbors I had, oh my god, I think 6 or 7 years ago. It's been a while. I was living in this very, small village. It had around maybe 500 inhabitants, and there were about 1,000 cows and horses and chickens and pigs. So yeah, there were more animals than people, and it was kind of a weird little town. They had one bus, and it was only driving in one other town, and that town was completely useless for me. So I had to walk around all the time. But yeah, so my apartment was in the, right under the roof, in the third, how do you call it, a story or a floor, third floor, I have no idea. And yeah, there were two apartments below me, and the apartment in the middle was empty. I don't know why, it was just empty. And in the lowest apartment, in the lowest floor, there was this couple living. And don't get me wrong, I don't have any kind of problem with an older guy dating an younger girl, or, vice versa, an older woman dating a younger guy, but I don't know, sometimes it's just weird, if I see it, I don't know, a 20-year-old girl dating a 50-year-old guy, just wondering what the fuck went wrong there, because, I don't know, if I look at myself, I don't have that much in common with a woman, for example, that's 50 years old. We don't have that much in common, even if we are both working and we are both having hobbies and friends maybe, but still we don't have that much in common. And that was the same for those two. She was around 18 maybe, so by that time I was around 20, 21, 22, something around that. And yeah, she was around 18 maybe, 18ish. She could have been younger, I don't know. And he was definitely in his mid to late 30s. So they were living together. I have no idea why I never asked them. And he was kind of an asshole. He was the kind of guy that you meet him at 10 a.m. in the morning with a beer in his hand. It's just he wasn't an alcoholic, but just he liked to drink and he liked to party. He was the typical party guy, and I don't think he had a job. So she had a job. I think she was a nurse. Yeah, she was a nurse if I remember right, and that means she had to be 18 or 19. You can't be a nurse below that age. But yeah, so whatever. So yeah, she was a nurse. She was bringing home all the money, and he was just sitting around all day making parties and making barbecue sessions in the garden and stuff like that. And he was just an asshole. I don't know. It was just the kind of guy you look at and that guy's an asshole. You can't really put a finger on it, but you just know it. And yeah, after a little while, I knew why he was an asshole, because they were fighting a lot. It was like, did you talk to that guy at work again, you stupid bitch? And she was like, no, I didn't. Oh, of course I did, because he's my supervisor or something like that. And he would get mad at her. Just he was a very jealous guy, and I can understand that, because he was kind of an average to not so good looking guy, and she was kind of a stunning woman. So I have no idea how they got together. I still don't get that. But yeah, that's just it's a miracle of life. This is, yeah, it is. So yeah, as I said, they were fighting a lot, and one night they were, having a huge fight. I was sitting around at my computer, and I think I was playing Counter-Strike at the time. I have no idea what I did, but yeah, they had a huge fight. I could hear them, and there was a lot of yelling and doors being slammed. And all of a sudden, my doorbell rang, so it was, it was the middle of the night, so what the frick? So I was, answering the door, and she was standing there crying, so I let her in, and I just, I talked to her for a while, and it came out that, he hit her a couple of times, he was beating her up, and it's just, the lowest form of human being for me. That's you know, if you abuse children, that's even worse. So basically, if you hit another person, it's just a bad thing. You know, there are people out there that deserve to be hit, and if you do something that deserves to be hit, you should be hit, whatever. But you know, hitting a woman as a guy, it's just wrong. If she attacks you first, okay, it's okay. But hitting a woman just, you know, out of anger, it's just bad. So I was talking for her for a while, and you know, I told her she could, you know, sleep on my bed and I would sleep on the couch, just, you know, to get away from him for a while. He didn't know she was, you know, at my place. So yeah, after that night, of course, she had to sneak out, because if he had seen that, you know, she had slept in my apartment, he would have assumed that I fucked her, and he would have probably killed me, or skull fucked me, or whatever. It would have been a painful experience. So we decided it would be better to not tell him. So, you know, after I think maybe half a year I had to move out there, they had loads of fights after that. I sometimes talked to that girl, you know, she could stay in my apartment whenever she needed to, and he never found out, I guess, because I was never beaten up by him. But yeah, after half a year, as I said, I moved out, and they still live together then. I really hope she found a way out of there, because that guy, as I said, was really, really an asshole, and you know, you can't really do something. Even if you call the cops on them, you know, he will just say everything is fine. He will give her an evil look, and she will say, yeah, everything is fine. Of course, that big bloody nose I got from falling to the ground because I'm a stupid idiot. That's just how it works out. And even if I said something, if she doesn't confirm the story, there is nothing to do. It's just German law, and maybe it's law around all the world. It's just bad situation. So if you're ever in that situation, leave the guy, because it's bad. And that was this episode of the subseries Neighbors in Hell. If you liked it, let me know. And that was it for this week's episode of Storytime. I'm iLostLink, signing out.